Good morning. Sorry for being a few minutes late. I was waiting for my water to boil. I think I just need to start boiling it earlier. Good job making it today. Happy Tuesday. I am suffering a bit again. My arm hurts a lot, and I think it's just because due to work, like typing a lot recently. I don't know. Have you heard of carpal tunnel? But I don't think that's what I have. I think it's like much more severe than this. It's just like, yeah, it kind of hurts. We will get started in a few minutes to read for the 20 minutes per day or study if you're a student and you get busy and you read a lot anyway, whether you have those like required textbook readings or what not. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna take my hood off now. Stop looking like a hobo. Well, still like a hobo, but maybe a little less. Hey Dan, how are you? Did you notice my thumbnail? It's a little different today. I kind of am using some of the tips in one of the videos that you sent me to try and attract people more. Hopefully they actually read the description, because I think sometimes maybe people, like strangers that is, like people who are not subscribed, they like pop in and then they like leave because they're like, oh, what is this? But if the thumbnail itself is just like, read the description, then that's fine. And if they can't even read the description and take the time to do that, then their attention span is way too short and they don't even want to put in the effort. So that means there's no way they would read 20 minutes, I guess. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But, we'll try to experiment and see if we can get more people to join us. But, a more powerful thing actually is word of mouth. So, you guys, if you want more people to join reading, tell your friends, tell your family members. So, yeah, just like, yeah, recommendation, word of mouth is the most powerful. Like, for example, in the book I'm currently reading, the guy in there didn't spend like any money. He spent very little money on advertising. And it's mostly because like people who read his book just spread the word for him, and it got really popular. Yeah, the links are helpful. Thank you. I haven't had a chance to go through all of them yet, but yeah, I used at least some tips, hence the new thumbnail for this live stream. And yeah, I'm doing okay. My forearm kind of hurts. This is like the first time my forearm hurts. It's weird. How are you doing? Are your studies still really busy, stressful? Oh man, this hurts. Just gonna wait a couple more minutes for people to join. Hi, good morning, Anshdeep. Nice to see you today. Oh yeah, whenever I use a thumbnail, wasn't the regular one. Those videos I have higher view. That's true, but I think that one might be because Angel was here, and so it's kind of more compelling. I'm not sure. That's a good point, though. Maybe I'll just take a thumbnail on the spot and have those like on the spot lower quality thumbnails. Yeah, it's worth trying out and experimenting. And to be fair, on my other channel, I do have more subscribers there, so maybe that's why the views were higher there, when I just used like a plain selfie on the spot. Nothing happened to my face. I think I'm just in a position where it looks more puffy, and I just woke up. Maybe I'm still really tired, so it looks swollen. Or maybe, my face is just fat. But no, my face is fine. Thank you for being concerned. Man, okay. Let's get started then. I'll see you guys in 20 minutes. Bye. All right, good job, guys, for today. And great job. It's day, which means we've read together for 60 days in a row. And yeah, that's so incredible. You know, how many people can say that? And, you know, doing this habit will make just many other things fall into place because reading is so important to our focus and everything. So I'm going to look at the chat now. Let's see. Maybe direct some views from my other channel to this one as a suggestion. Yeah, that's true. I'm not really sure how to do that though. Maybe I should post in the community tab of the other channel. Also, we have 4 people joining live now. That's awesome. How are you guys doing? So I was telling Dan in the beginning that I changed the thumbnail to the live streams per one of the videos he suggested that's telling you about how to, you know, get more people compelled to click. And so, yeah, hopefully this new thumbnail will make people want to stay and actually read with us. Good morning, Annie. Yesterday, what was the time? There's no notification. Oh, that's weird. I'm not sure why there was not notification. My wrist hurts. Not my wrist, my forearm. Don't know what's wrong with it. Cool. So, what are you guys up to today? I actually didn't take any notes today. I'm surprised. I didn't write anything down. I think it's because today the chapter I read overlapped a bit with Millionaire Fastlane because of one of the concepts talked about. And so kind of already had it ingrained. And it's nice though because it's a reminder. What am I up to these days? I am working. Not fun. Well, sometimes it's fun, you know, because, you know, we should try to enjoy what we do, especially if we have to do it. But yeah, work has been very tiring. On the bright side, though, yesterday we had a catered lunch and it was delicious. Very, very delicious. It was like from a salad restaurant, and I love salad. Actually, I love all food. If I say I love salad, it sounds like I'm like obsessed with being healthy. I did play tennis. So I was a regional tennis champion in high school. And yeah, I love tennis. And actually, you know, we need a lesson for each video. I live stream, I suppose. So, you know, tennis, I actually did not take many lessons. I was convinced by my friend when I was in my sophomore year to join the following year, junior year, but I had never really played. I was like, how am I going to make varsity? You're the one telling me varsity is so fun. So the summer before junior year, I took a bunch of private lessons, group lessons, practiced with my parents, my sister, and made varsity the junior year and at 3 doubles also. So that was pretty awesome. We won. We were actually, I think, undefeated during the regular season. And were we? I'm not sure about that part, but actually, then we were regional champions, qualified for state. And then the following year, I actually played singles, and then I was undefeated during the regular season, as was my sister. It was actually a higher singles than me because she beat me in the tryouts. But yeah, and then I also was number 1 in the region and qualified for state again as a singles player. So it just shows like it's like not to anything. Okay, you know what? Actually, that is a glow up. Okay, that means that you know you don't have to have experience. You don't have to be like, oh my gosh, I haven't had experience. I can't make it at all. Like, how am I ever gonna join and play? If you put in time and effort and you try, like, who knows what can happen? And you put in enough effort, you like really just believe that you can do it. It's like you really have control, you know? And especially for things like this. Like, you know, if you want to be an NBA player, like that's a little out of your control. But stuff like this, it's like cool. Granted, I probably do have some decent athletic genes. Yeah. And why I say like, oh, it's okay. You know what? This is a glow up. Is because I was gonna talk about this in another video, but essentially right now there's a lot of glow ups like on the internet, like, oh, girls like doing their nails and hair and everything in like, I don't know, 24 hours and spending all this money or like something to try to make themselves look better. And that's like the transformation glow up. But like, why can't we say like other kinds of glow ups, quote unquote, where we're like, I don't know, suddenly went from a B student to an A student? Like that's really cool. But I don't think that kind of glow up is talked about enough. Okay. I talked a lot. Now I can check the chat again, give you some time to type everything out. Okay, let's see. Did uh did I ever saw the physics book Resnick Holiday? Nope, I did not. I do not know what that is, sorry. But um yeah, we did not use that for physics, I think. Yeah, how did your math test go? Also, Annie, how do you feel? I think Annie was a little sick the past couple of days, or like 2 days ago. Carried in doubles. Ha! I like doubles and singles because in doubles, I like being at the net and having that team spirit, you know? And all volleys are so fun. And in singles, I know that I'm the only one I can rely on. And like, I'm pretty, I'd say, what do you call it? Stable, pretty like solid. I can't really think of the word right now, but basically, I'm pretty scrappy and I know that in Chinese like 稳定, you know, I'm pretty 稳定 in singles, and more patient. So I think that's why I did well, even though I actually played a ton of people that season who had way more experience than me and practiced way more. And what's funny is I actually played this girl who like she's known for like working really hard and like spending lots of time in the gym or in the gym on the court, and her mom really expected her to beat me, but I ended up beating her. What's funny is that she was a kind of a family friend, but you know, like that was pretty cool. I think that was just solely because I was more, yeah, scrappy and I think patient with the ball. It's kind of the things you need in this level of tennis, I suppose. But it wasn't enough to get into Caltech's tennis team because the tennis team, like at that point, you kind of do need more skill and experience. Yeah, my shorts. Yes, indeed. Yes, I did make a video on like a glow up. Yeah, that was funny. Ha, thanks for remembering that, Launch Deep. Oh, 1 day sick thing. Well, that's good. Good thing it didn't last that long. My thoughts on grown-ups world has changed from when I was in school student versus now. I'm not sure what you mean by the grown-ups world because I think all of our worlds have changed, like kids, you know, everything. But like a lot has changed in our lifetime if you think about it. Like I remember my first phone was a flip phone. Actually, it didn't even flip. It was just like a solid, like kind of little brick thing. And it had to have keyboard, so I had to, you know, press 3 times to get to the letter J or something. Um, I think J actually maybe you just to press once, whatever. You have to press like multiple times, sometimes like 4 times to get to a certain letter. And with all the social media and stuff, like the world has changed a ton in terms of technology and social media and people's attention spans, which is why we have these reading sessions. So good job. You guys are counteracting that. Oh, no, COVID. Okay, oops. I misinterpreted your question. Well, got me off on a bit of a rant tangent thing. Yeah, also we have technology, which is making our worlds more work from home friendly, more homeschool or like online school friendly. And I think also it's accelerated our move to be in the metaverse, whether it's right now on like not so much a metaverse um, advanced perspective of like being in this virtual world, but it's like we virtually talk over Zoom, other web conferencing things, and Zoom. Think about it. Zoom has become a term. Like, oh, I'm going to Zoom you. Oh, let's Zoom. Just like, oh, I'm going to Google this. Like, isn't that crazy? That just happened because of COVID. Really. Like, and what's crazy is that all these changes due to COVID, I think were going to happen anyway because of the technology and stuff. COVID just made it a necessity, and it showed that it was definitely possible to do this. It just accelerated this whole move to digital. And then on the other hand, it also changed, I think, the way we think about our lives. Like if you know about the Great Resignation, people are quitting because they realize that their job is sucking more out of them than they would like, that their time is now limited. And I guess it takes a pandemic to find that out, right? I think I talked about this in another live stream, but it's like these life events where you're like, wow, I'm not really happy, and I'm like unchained or quote unquote like enslaved to something that I'm not happy about. And if I have to commit 5 days a week to it, then like that's not a good use of my time, and my time is my life. So that's a big change that's happened as well with the pandemic, COVID, people spending more time with their families and being work from home. Then they realize like, man, sometimes these companies, um in when we work in person, first of all, maybe they keep a closer eye on you and you feel more pressure. And also when we work from home and sometimes they like have no boundaries, then that also shows how much that like you just belong to the company and you're replaceable. And you're like, well, then why don't I quit and try to pursue something else that, and life's too short, I can try something else. And then on another note, spending more time at home, you realize, wow, like time with family is so important. Like I wish I had more of that. And like in on one side, like I in the beginning I thought like, oh, people are just kind of being soft by wanting to go back to by not wanting to go back to the office. Like people are quitting or like revolting. I think that's the right word. Whatever. They're getting upset that they have to go back into the office. And I'm like, but that was the default. Like that's what you signed up for. And yeah, like if it's like fine and like other people are going and it was like fun with your team members, right? Like yeah, like going back to the office is not a big deal. But I think people realize, like I said in yesterday's live stream, that they have more autonomy, and autonomy and that freedom at home creates more, happiness. You save time commuting, you spend more time with your family, and I think it's like makes you a little more happy to work from home. Even though I do feel you're definitely less productive because like I mean at home then you can just like I don't know lay on your bed for a few minutes and a few minutes turns longer. But or like in work you always have to look busy, and in looking busy you're probably doing something somewhat productive even if it's personal stuff. Final thing is that social media. Oh, you guys know I'm so, I suppose, passionate, opinionated about social media, even though like I technically participate in it, right, with YouTube, Instagram. But we spend so much more time on social media. TikTok's blown up. TikTok, in my opinion, is really bad for this generation. And even like so many old people are on it too, which is really weird sometimes. And yeah, I just decrease our attendance span so much, and like people blow up, but it's just really, really that 15 seconds of fame thing, like literally to another level because of algorithm or whatnot. And like if you look at a lot of people with a lot of followers, like what kind of value are they creating? Like not much. And then on the flip side, as a viewer watching all those things, scrolling for like 2 hours a day, what value are you getting? And like what are you learning? Like not like everything has to be about learning, but it's like, are those things really that entertaining? Are you guys really gonna like remember things? Like, so that's why like the TikToks I make, at least, like I try to have them be tips about school and stuff that like not other people talk about, and I then re-upload them to shorts on YouTube. But like I've seen some good traction there where a lot of people save the videos because like I don't know how much people save. I guess people save like funny videos a lot. But anyway, good question. Yeah, this is the last time I'm gonna say this, but Angel would just say like, "Oh, you talk so much." Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna mark this session as gold. Thanks, Annie, for pointing that out. I think like gold means like, oh, you guys ask good questions, you guys talk a lot, and then I'm just like here talking my mouth off. um, my age when I got my first phone, I think it was start of middle school, so, like, 11, 12. Yeah. Adults are always busy working, yeah. So the thing is with work from home is that, like, there are even fewer boundaries. You can wake up and work. You can work right before going to bed because your stuff is right there. Whereas there's like a more certain break, 9 to 5. At 5, you're like, "Oh, yes." Like, when I was in my internships, I'd be, like, counting down the hours till 5. I'm like, 3 o'clock. Oh, 2 more hours. Okay, I can do it. And then at 5, I'm free. That's it. But now, that's not the case, especially with consulting. Okay, let's see the chat. T9 keypad. Oh, yes, I think that's what it's called. Um, they lose a kid thinking they'll just grind all the time. Yeah, that's really tough. I know. So, okay, this is kind of far in the future. Not that far, which is interesting. But I always think, like, with Sean, we're like, oh, like, what if we're, like, too busy? Like, we both work hard and we're ambitious. But then, like, what if that's just, like, giving less time for the kid, and the kid's so important, like, you wanna watch your kid grow up, and some things that's talked about in this book is that, like, you just if you're chained to a job, especially that one that sucks a ton of time, like, you're missing out on things that you can't get back. Not only your time, but those, like, life events, because you might be on a business trip when your kid says their first word, and, like, kids don't stop growing on the weekdays. That's what MJ DeMarco said, like, they're gonna be growing and having their milestones and their piano recitals or soccer games, like, any day of the week, and if you miss those too much, like, I think that's just a bigger that would be, like, a bigger regret, and I think, like, when we go through life, and instead of, like, thinking to grind so hard for a future goal, we need to also think about the journey in the current moment and know, like, and try to, like, work for the future, but also think of yourself from a future use perspective. Like, what are you gonna regret? What are you gonna look back at and be like, "I'm so happy for those memories," or, like, like, you don't wanna regret missing things that you can't get back. You can always work more. Well, granted, your, like, mind's probably less agile when you're older, but, like, yeah, less time for your kid. Yeah. Sorry if any of you guys are experiencing that, but, yeah, I just agree that, like, sometimes parents do work too hard or they don't give time, and I'm really grateful for my parents because I think they really, really prioritized time with us. So much that, like, my parents are really amazing, and they probably could have gotten farther in their jobs, in their positions at the company, but they decided that other things were more important. Yeah, grinding all the time. I do like the song "Grinding All My Life," though. It pumps me up, just saying. This is a long session. Okay, let me read the chat. Very interesting stuff, guys. Social media connects like wise. I would never think of being talking to Ivy League students. Oh, yes, yes, yes. I know what you mean now, Honest Yeah, social media has a lot of positives too, okay, granted. Like, yeah, I mean, we're talking right now, like, that's pretty cool, right? Even though I don't really think of YouTube as super social media like, but it is getting there, I think, in terms of the connection, like, the kind of way it works. Dan says, "Your friend's mother started a YouTube channel in pandemic. Now she has more than a thousand subs. That's awesome." Yeah, so many people started YouTube channels in the pandemic. And actually, I was thinking, like, if I was really, like, into YouTube as much as I am now at the start of the pandemic, like, I could have really taken the advantage of more people staying at home and watching more videos and, possibly, I think pretty likely have, like, grown more. But, like, it's okay because I think back and I'm like, when I was spending those days in quarantine, I spent a ton of time with my parents and my sister, like, cooking, like, working out with her, so it's okay. Like, you think back sometimes, but you think like, oh, would have, should have, could have, but it's okay. Especially if, like, like I said, things you missed are probably things that you could still do now. But yeah, it's okay. No use speculating. I mean, I would like to have more views and subscribers so then people can see my helpful tips. But it's okay. Yeah. Ha ha ha. Yes, Angel is funny. Okay, Anshdeep says you went to your university, you never knew that non-US residents can also attend university, like Harvard or Caltech. Yeah, for sure. A lot of international students. India, yes, indeed. Oh, that's right. Three Idiots. I need to put that on the list. Interesting. I feel like that's something Sean would like. Just saying. Um, your Indian education system has some defects. Yeah, I think I can't say for all countries, and maybe yeah, U.S. system is pretty good, but like the U.S. system itself does have some defects as well, I believe. Especially I don't know, my school, something that like goes like I don't know if you would call this a defect per se, but our school emphasized football so much, like all the what do you call them? All the assemblies. I haven't used that word in so long. All the assemblies were about football. Like you spend like hours just like applauding the football team. Whereas like academic awards, maybe mention it in 2 minutes. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. No, I will not be late for work because it's 6:49 a.m. right now. No worries. But speaking of which, I should like do my routine down, kind of like stretch and eat and stuff. But good talking with you guys. Uh, yeah. I was so tired in the beginning of this live stream. And now I'm like fired up. And now that I know we're ending, I feel like sleepy again. Cool. Okay. One more thing. Launchdeep says we can understand that movie reflected here that you're forced to do much on mugging up. I'm not sure what mugging up means. I'm sorry. There are a lot of terms that I think maybe slang here and there. I don't know. Also, I'll say one more thing. I think spending less time on social media and like with pop culture has made me like sometimes people think like oh live under a rock. Like I don't know the Kardashians' daughter or daughter. Did I have a daughter or son? See, I'm telling you, I don't know anything these things, and it doesn't matter because you know I know some world news. I know some more important things than like celebrities because celebrities are just like us. If you guys didn't know, I'm sure you guys knew that. But yeah, like there's some slang terms, acronyms where my sister's like, "How do you not know that?" I'm like, "It's okay. I would know it if it's important." Mugging is cramming. Oh, good to know. Okay. Yeah, bye Annie. Nice to see you. Oh, actually, yeah, bye everyone. Nice to see Kardashian is banned. I don't know what you mean. Kardashians. Kardashians have a kid. Well, they have some kids, several kids. I know that much. Okay, have a great day, guys. I'll mark this as gold and I'll see you tomorrow. See you. Thanks.